how we use social media. It's not just about the platforms themselves.
To the preservation of the national unity and democratic stability.
Water is life, water is an essential service, and we must have to carry out the residents.
Local communities are not only vital to the growth of society, but they also form the bedrock of humanitarian development.
Hello there, this is specially welcoming you to the reporter on Global Television. I'm Uyi Agumofwegbe in for my colleague Anita Patrick. The week as we know it has finally wrapped up, but the big stories never stop coming through on the reporter. It is why we are delighted to welcome you to this installment of the program. And now time to put the program on the road for you, shall we? The resident electoral commissioner in Ekiti State, Dr. Bumi Omoshe-Indemi, has assured voters and stakeholders of the readiness of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to conduct a free, fair, and credible governorship election in the state. He made this known while speaking with journalists ahead of the poll. Political correspondent Ubong Usoro has details.
The resident electoral commissioner in Ekiti State said the commission has concluded all necessary preparations, describing election management as a continuous process that has been underway since the last electoral cycle. According to him, non-sensitive materials had been distributed well in advance, while sensitive materials were collected from the central bank and deployed to local government areas.
Set up the RAC center at 12 o'clock, and from there, all the officers, SPO, all the officers that are supposed to work at REC, they must be there by 6, including the polling presiding officers, assistant presiding officers, and the RAC tech people. So all of them will be there. Then from there, 6 o'clock tomorrow, people will start moving to their polling units.
The REC added that INEC had strengthened collaboration with security agencies to ensure a peaceful and credible election. Dr. Bumi also expressed concern over vote buying and urged voters to reject inducement and support credible elections. He identified fake news and misinformation as a major threat to voter confidence, warning against circulation of unverified reports.
For there must be enough education to the people, not to buy vote and not to sell votes. People must change their mindset. People must change their mindset on the electoral process. They must not see during the election as James okay every time. That's the only time they can change their life. No.
The INEC boss, however, commended political parties for conducting peaceful campaigns and assured residents of smooth logistics and transparent electoral processes. Ubong Usoro, Global TV News.
Incidentally, joining me in our live studio here in Abuja is our political correspondent, Ubong Usoro. Ubong, it's a pleasure to have you on the program.
A very good evening to you. Always a pleasure to come on the program.
Great. I think it's obvious that election is in less than 24 hours as it stands right now. For many people, this is a test case for not just INEC as the commission, but for the new leadership, of course, headed by Professor Josh Amogbito. Help us expand this story.
Yeah, I think this election is very important because it's like a litmus test towards 2027. We'll have a few on the road, but this one, allows INEC to prepare, test their preparedness in areas of logistic deployment, in areas of personnel management, in areas of election monitoring and results announcement. So these are key areas that civil society groups. Earlier today, I monitored electoral town hall being called by Civic Space, one of the civil society groups that are already doing work in Ekiti State at the moment, and these were some of the criteria as stated that they want to see more efficiency in INEC being able to deploy logistics on time, being able to monitor, arrest when necessary. Right. People who may be indulging in vote buying. We just saw where Dr. Bumi, who is the resident electoral commissioner, was speaking, and one of the things he spoke about was vote buying. So INEC has all of this time to see if, because a lot of Nigerians have lost hope in institutions. If you go on the road and do a vox pop, we hear that. But with this now, it gives them the opportunity to rebuild that hope, and Nigerians look forward to 2027. So for me, like INEC have said, they've gotten the materials ready, and they seem to be ready, but we need to see these three things: logistic deployment, we want to see it on time; monitoring and evaluation, people should be arrested if need be, and we want to see result announcement also on time. So these are my three areas I hope to see some good work tomorrow.
Incidentally, we see so much of back and forth between opposition parties and, of course, the ruling APC. And as it turns out, in the case of Ekiti, again, it's the APC that's the ruling party there right now. We've heard a couple of parties on the opposition side of things talk about how that they want to unseat whatever it is. There's the issue of violence. There's the issue of the voter apathy, for example. If that's the case, for instance, Ekiti, of course, is Nigeria. Whatever factors will affect the outcome of election in 2027 would also rub off on Ekiti as a state, right? When you look at all of that, given that even the chairman of INEC has said that, look, we can't have insecurity and elections going side by side. That's one concern. Second concern is he has also said that voter apathy is a disturbing menace, or if you like, a disturbing phenomenon going into these elections. I mean, what are you hearing in those cases?
Right, so for voter apathy, that will be a concern, because if we look at the last elections that we've had, from the off-season elections we had to the FCT election that we had, and now to Ekiti election, there's been significant reduction in the number of registered voters who actually collect their PVCs. So we have that on one hand. And even among those who collect their PVCs, the number of those who turn out to vote, right? So less than 10% in most of the cases that we've monitored. So that shows that most Nigerians, or some Nigerians, many Nigerians are not interested in voting. So they now see the voter card as an ID card, an identity card. I could use it tomorrow the same way I use my international passport and the same way I use my driver's license, and not necessarily for voting, which is something we should discourage, right? But on the other hand, we'll talk about the parties. We have the APC as a ruling party with Governor Oyebanji, who is of the APC stock, and has the support of former governors like former Governor Fayose, who has been supporting him and is very vocal about that. Then you come to the other, the PDP appears to be the most formidable, even with the issues that they've had. They appear to be the most formidable opposition in this contest, because the PDP is representing Professor Wole Oluyode, who is a grassroots politician who's been commissioner in the state. He's been around for quite a while, and he has some massive followership. So, and he's from the southwest part of the state, right? And they've not been in power for quite a while. So the sentiment of, we've not had our person in power for some time could work, but that is still left for the masses. But of course, we know that any election in Nigeria that the ruling party an incumbent goes in, he goes in as a stronger candidate. So I think the APC stands a better chance.
Okay, interesting. I would like to say a big thank you to you, Bob, for sharing these very valuable insights with us on the program here. We keep our fingers crossed. Tomorrow is a big day for Ekiti people, and then of course our studio will be open to follow those developments for you, starting from our morning show. Again, we're grateful for your time.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
Great. All right, let's turn our attention now to other matters tonight for you. This time we're going to Kano State, where the Department of State Services, the DSS, in that state has arrested a suspected arms trafficker who was allegedly attempting to smuggle weapons into the state. The suspect was apprehended during an operation by security operatives as efforts continue to curb the proliferation of illegal firearms and enhance public safety. Global Television's Idris Jibril reports that 3 AK-47 rifle and 1 RPG were recovered from the suspects.
Security agencies have recorded another breakthrough in the fight against the illegal movement of firearms, following the arrest of a suspected arms trafficker by the Department of State Services in Kano. The suspect was intercepted while allegedly attempting to transport a cache of weapons from Maigatari in Jigawa State to Maiadua in Katsina State.
Nan da baya wani ya matsa man in je in ɗauko masa wasu bindigogi mai gatari ko nan wani ɗan ƙauyen sana. To ni ce masa ba na zuwa dai ya matsa min kamar zuwa sati ɗaya a haka again. To jiya da na je can wajen wurin kawai sai nika ta da shiya da nika ta da shiya sai ya kaje ya ka ɗauko guda uku aka ɗauko ya ka kawo. To bayan ya kawo su ne kuma na zo na biyo hanya Allah kaddare aka kama ne.
The operation, according to security sources, forms part of ongoing efforts to combat arms trafficking and prevent criminal activities that threaten peace and security. The arrest underscores the commitment of security agencies to safeguarding lives and property through intelligence-led operation and enhanced surveillance. Authorities say investigations are ongoing to determine the source of the weapons, identify possible accomplices, and establish the intended destination of the firearms. The DSS has urged members of the public to remain vigilant and continue to provide credible information to security agencies, stressing that public cooperation is essential in the fight against crime and insecurity. From Kano, Idris Jibrin, Global Television News.
Interesting times with us here. Kano apparently is no exemption, but the good news is we are recording some success in this regard. And tonight on the program, Idris Jibrin joins us live from Kano State in northwest Nigeria. Idris, good to see you. This story is quite an interesting one. But talk to us exactly, the backstory behind this report.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Uyi. Like you know, for quite some times now, security agencies in Kano State, talking about the DSS, the police, the army, have intensified surveillance within and outside the metropolitan city of Kano State, following recorded incidences of insecurity in some bordering local government, bordering Katsina, Jigawa, and probably Bauchi State. So in the process of this, according to the Department of State Services, they received intelligence information that someone is actually transporting weapons from Maigatari in Jigawa State to Maiadua in Katsina State. Note that Maigatari in Jigawa State is a border town between Maigatari in Jigawa State to Niger Republic. And also Maiadua in Katsina State is also a border town entering Niger Republic. So this person that was arrested by the DSS is actually transporting those weapons from Maigatari to Maiadua. But then he has to follow through Kano State in order to pass to Maiadua, because he has to follow through Daura and then get to Katsina and then get to Maiadua. So in that in that axis, the Department of State Services arrested the person with 3 AK-47 rifles and 1 rocket-propelled grenade, that's RPG. And the person said he was paid about 450,000 naira in order to transport these weapons to Katsina. So the suspect is currently being interrogated by the DSS, and then he is also cooperating with them because he has already confessed to transporting the weapons from Maigatari to Katsina State. Now, we try to speak with the Department of State Services regarding these operations. You know, these kind of things are highly confidential. It's not everything that the DSS will come out and say, but they have assured that they are intensifying surveillance and they are also intensifying investigation in order to see that they apprehend the accomplices of the person that was arrested, because definitely there are people behind it. As he says, we interviewed him. He said it was through his friend who actually told him who actually contracted him to transport those weapons to Kaduna State. So the incident is still under investigation, and the DSS told us that as soon as they make any other breakthrough, they will actually let us know about it.
Again, I'd like to say this is quite a very soothing story. But incidentally, you're going to have to stay with us for a few more minutes now, Idris, because we're hearing that Kano State government has launched a new digital news multimedia unit as part of efforts to modernize government communication and enhance digital media operations. Commissioner for Information and Internal Affairs Ibrahim Abdullahi Waya, who inaugurated the unit, says the initiative is aimed at aligning the ministry's communication strategy with global digital trends and improving the dissemination of government information to the public.
As part of efforts to align with global best practices in digital communication and enhance public awareness, the newly established Digital News Multimedia Unit is expected to strengthen the dissemination of government information through modern digital platforms. The unit will support government agencies, organizations, and media outlets in delivering timely and accurate information, including policy updates, public health advisories, emergency alerts, and other public service announcements.
Some of our partners, let me give an example of DW. DW is a partner of Freedom Radio for the past 18 years. They have closed their radio programming. What they do is that they share the content to the partner stations across the world.
The Commissioner for Information and Internal Affairs, Ibrahim Abdullahi Waya, called on information officers and directors in the ministry to rededicate themselves to their duties, emphasizing the need for professionalism, teamwork, and commitment in delivering accurate and timely information to the people of Kano State.
That an occasion of this significance genuinely demands you are not merely witnessing to the creation of a new government department, you are witnesses to a decision that will fundamentally alter the relationship between Kano State government and the 20 billion people.
The Commissioner also reaffirmed the commitment of Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf's administration to advancing digital communication across the state. He assured that the ministry would provide modern equipment and other essential working tools to enhance their efficiency and productivity.
Today, a significant and growing majority of our people now depend on digital and multimedia platforms, not as a convenience or an entertainment option, but as the primary channel through which they access education, receive information, conduct commerce, engage in marketing and trade, seek health guidance, pursue spiritual development, maintain social relationships, participate in civic life, and connect with the world beyond the boundaries.
The establishment of the Digital News Multimedia Unit is expected to strengthen the ministry's digital presence, improve public access to government information, and promote more effective communication between the government and the people through modern multimedia platforms. From Kano, Idris Jibrin, Global Television News.
We'll get right back to Idris again now. In 30 seconds, Idris, talk to us about what this initiative actually represents for the government of Kano State.
Well, this is also another area the government of Kano State is very keen about. That's the ensuring the new multimedia platform where information officers and directors across the 44 local government areas of the state will be given a chance to be able to transmit government information to the public as fast as they can. So in the previous time, they are using conventional ways of communicating to the people. So now this unit will enable them to get those information very fast to the people, like health advisory, emergency alert, and many other public information that the government needs the public to understand. So the unit will be responsible in providing those information and in making sure that those information get to the public in time. So at the moment, the unit, they will provide, the commissioner has promised to provide all the necessary equipment in order to ensure that the unit is functioning effectively.
I would like to say a big thank you to you, Idris Jubrain, Global Television correspondent in Kano State, for joining us on the program tonight. And here is wishing you the best of the weekend.
Thank you.
Let's turn to Benue State now, where Governor Hyacinth Alia has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to sustaining funding for the University of Agriculture, Science and Technology, IHU. The governor made the pledge at the institution's maiden matriculation ceremony, where 668 pioneer students were formally admitted into various academic programs. Felicity Indere was there for us.
The University of Agriculture, Science and Technology, IHU, recorded a major milestone with the matriculation of its first set of students. The 668 pioneer students took the matriculation oath, officially commencing their academic journey at the institution. The historic ceremony attracted government officials, education stakeholders, traditional rulers, parents, and community leaders. Addressing the students, Governor Hyacinth Alia charged them to remain disciplined, focused, and committed to academic excellence. The governor also assured the university of continuous government support and called on private investors and development partners to contribute to the institution's growth and development.
You must remember that you are the living promise of this institution. Many of you come from homes where agriculture is a daily reality. You now have the opportunity to marry ancestral knowledge with modern science.
Earlier, the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Christobeg Amwa, congratulated the students and urged them to justify the confidence reposed in them through hard work and good conduct. He expressed optimism that the institution would become a leading center for agricultural and scientific research.
We are building a skills-driven polymatic university, a university that teaches, ends, and transforms. Here, knowledge must translate into competence, and certificates must be matched by practical skills.
Some of the matriculating students described the occasion as a dream come true and pledged to make the institution proud.
My vision here is coming out with a good result that will help the state and the country at large.
I'm so happy, I'm so glad to be matriculated today. I want to use this opportunity to appreciate God for today. I'm so happy.
The matriculation marks the beginning of academic activities at the university, with expectations high that it will contribute significantly to manpower development and agricultural advancement in Benue State and Nigeria at large. From IHU in Vanika local government area of Benue State, Felicity Indare reporting for Global Television News.
Amazing. Incidentally, we're joining very briefly Felicity Indare, a reporter in Benue State, to help us understand exactly what has happened here and what it means for the education sector in Benue State. Felicity, it's so good to see you. In 30 seconds again, just walk us through the significance of this event.
Okay, good evening, Mr. Oyi. It's good to be here. The University of Agriculture, Science and Technology in IHU, it's the main essence is to revolutionize agriculture in Benue State. You know, as Benue people are predominantly farmers, and to revolutionize agriculture is a step forward. And as you could hear the students, their excitement for the first matriculation of the institution. We have forestry department, and they have another great opportunity as just few days back, where the First Lady was in Benue State to commission an ICT center close to just a mile away. It's not far from the school. They are close by, where the students have an opportunity that they can go and do their research and everything concerning agriculture. It's in another level. It has evolved. The school is evolving the students, and we believe that this is a great push for the people of Benue State, for students that will be coming in for learning it's going to be a good one for them because it's not going to be a normal university of agriculture, but it has everything that's going to do with
Apparently, we can see that already happening. I mean, given this news story, we'd like to say a big thank you to you, Felicity Inderi, for taking our time to join us here tonight. And that's the size of the reporter this week. Please be reminded that we are on DSTV channel 365, Star Times channel 276, and Free TV. We appreciate you for watching. I am Uyi Agumofwegbe, sitting in for my colleague, Anyeche Patrick. We'll see you again.
Be mindful of how we use social media. It's not just about the platforms themselves.
To the preservation of the national unity and democratic stability.
Water is life, water is an essential service, and then we must have to carry out the residents.
Local communities are not only vital to the growth of society, but they also form the bedrock of humanitarian development.